William Jacobson is a law professor at Cornell University and the founder of equalprotect.org. That's an equal protection project which is devoted to the fair treatment of all persons without regard to race or ethnicity, and they filed a complaint with the Department of Education. Sir, welcome to Newsmax. How are you?
Good. Thanks for having me on.
This does seem completely outrageous and strange, and I'm so glad you're involved. The Ivy League, I'm a little bit surprised. That's a good thing. Tell us your thoughts on this and what can be done.
Well, it's horrible, but it's unfortunately becoming very common. At equalprotect.org, we see a lot of these. Almost every day we get a tip from people around the country about very similar open discrimination on the basis of race in the service of diversity, equity, and inclusion. For whatever the reason, these universities, but not just universities, also companies, feel that as long as the racial discrimination is against whites, it's okay, as opposed to other discrimination, which is bad. And of course, that's not true. It's immoral and it's illegal, and we're fighting it.
I happen to agree it's immoral and it's illegal, but there are some in academia who will say, like, you may have heard this before, it's impossible for a black person to be racist. And because the structure is designed by, whites, and that's critical race theory and that's white supremacy and everything they think. So, I mean, are there some judges out there who are going to take issue with you and say, actually, this is not illegal and this has to be addressed and work has to be done?
Well, there are very, very narrow exceptions to the anti-discrimination laws, and this is not one of them. The general purpose of diversity is not an exception to the anti-discrimination laws. There have been slight carve-outs, for example, for higher education. That might go away when the Supreme Court rules in the Harvard and UNC cases. But no, I don't expect judges, at least it wouldn't hold up on appeal, to say that it's okay to discriminate as a general matter against a particular racial group or skin color group just because you feel like it's good for your environment. So no, I don't think that's going to hold up. That doesn't mean they don't keep trying. This is really part of the DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion ideology that now permeates so much of society.
So you must be incredibly busy. I mean, this is happening all over the place. You mentioned you're getting tips all the time, and it's everywhere. Corporate America, education, in every facet of life, this insanity is taking off, and it seems to be still on the rise. I keep hearing about, well, the pendulum's going to swing back. I don't feel that myself. Do you? What are you seeing?
The pendulum has not swung back yet, but I think it's possible. I think that there's an outrage that's building in the country, and it's not just an outrage from whites, it's from all people. So, for example, in Providence, Rhode Island, we challenged segregated teacher events, and we also challenged a new teacher loan program that was only open to non-whites, to minorities. And a group of black activists joined with us and said that this is wrong, that they want more diversity in the teacher force, but this is the wrong way to do it. So I think that once you get away from the academia, once you get away from the DEI bureaucracy, people instinctively know this is wrong. So I think it is possible, and that's what we're trying to do, is push back against this and shine a big light on it.
Have you noticed that people, wealthier people, people with more education, tend to be the wokest of the lot? They're really, because they want to retain their status, and this is the way to do it. But the trickle-down effect, some kid who wants a $6,000 grant for the summer, wait a second, like this affects real people who are trying to make it. But I feel like the silly stuff is coming down from the top, people who want to keep their power.
I think that's true, and that's a really good point, that there are people involved here. There are white students at University of Minnesota who are being deprived of an educational opportunity, and they did nothing wrong. What did they ever do to anybody? This is really some sort of noxious racial retribution that's going on, and you're punishing people who never did anything wrong in their lives because of the color of their skin. That's what the American Civil Rights Movement was against. What we're seeing is a very regressive movement. This is not a progressive movement, even if they call themselves that. It's a regressive movement taking us back to some very bad days where your lot in life was determined by the color of your skin and how you were treated was determined by the color of your skin. And we've got to fight back against it. And I think the majority of people in this country, of all races and ethnicities, know that what is happening in academia and corporate HR departments is wrong.
William Jacobson, professor of law, Cornell University. I'm so glad you're involved in this. Let's go to equalprotect.org. Equalprotect.org for more information. Thank you very much, sir.
Great. Thank you so much.
We'll be right back.